Well, good afternoon, everyone. What a great day. What a beautiful day it is to welcome our Governor and First Lady, Jane Beshear, to Lexington. I also want to recognize those who are up here with me, beginning with State Senator Reggie Thomas, State Representative Kelly Flood, State Representative George Brown, and our Vice Mayor, Steve Kay, and Council members James Brown and Siobhan Akers, and Mary Quinn Raymer, who just walked up, is president of Visit Lex, and David Cozart, who is chairman of the Isaac Murphy Memorial Art Garden Committee. Let's give them a hand. Thank you all for being here, and importantly, thanks to every one of you all for being here today. This is a great turnout, Governor and First Lady. I have learned that when the Governor and the First Lady come to town to make an announcement, good things happen. He knows how to crowd the winner circle, and today that is the way it is. We are here at the Isaac Murphy Memorial in Lexington's historic East End, where Murphy lived and worked. Governor, as you know, Isaac Murphy, the winner of 3 Kentucky Derbies, was no stranger to a winner's circle. Work is continuing on this memorial. We will be revealing some exciting changes in the next few weeks as we prepare to welcome the Breeders' Cup. Today we are talking about tourism and trails, and this is a great place to do it. The Isaac Murphy Memorial will soon be connected to the Legacy Trail, which now runs from the Northside YMCA to the Kentucky Horse Park. Lexington's trails provide a connection between our city's lively urban core and some of the most beautiful countryside in the world. And they are attracting more and more visitors to our city and helping us grow our $1.9 billion visitor economy. Governor, we all appreciate the support the state has given to our trails. Thank you. Now, our Governor and First Lady have a plan to strengthen our trail system and continue to grow that visitor economy. Let's hear more from Mrs. Beshear.
Well, first you're going to hear from me.
Oh, first we're going to hear from you. It does say first that the First Lady speaks, but you want to change that?
Well, but she wants me to introduce her.
There we go.
She
there
wants
we go.
me to introduce.
I think that works.
We know who has the last word, not only in the Beshear family, but in the Commonwealth of Kentucky. And it's not the Governor. I'm thrilled to be here also with the First Lady, the Mayor, and all of the other folks to make an exciting announcement in an area where we've all been working very closely over the last 8 years. And that area is tourism. In the years since the recession, we have acted aggressively to turn around Kentucky's economy, setting records for economic activity, finishing first in the nation in large-scale business investment, and cutting our unemployment rate in half. One reason for Kentucky's impressive success has been our growing tourism industry. Over the last 5 years, the economic impact from tourism in Kentucky has increased more than $2.2 billion, and it has now reached $13.1 billion. Furthermore, the tourism industry has added 13,000 jobs during those 5 years, for a total now of 180,000 Kentuckians working in the tourism industry. These jobs, by the way, generated more than $2.9 billion in wages for Kentucky workers in the last year, an increase of almost $123 million from the previous year. So we've shown some tremendous growth. And at the same time, we have boosted Kentucky's image by hosting many events that have attracted visitors from all around the world. Events like the 2010 All-Tech World Equestrian Games at the Kentucky Horse Park, the Quaker State 400 at the Kentucky Speedway, the Ryder Cup, the PGA Championship, the Senior PGA Championship, and the Breeders' Cup 3 times. As we all know, the 2015 Breeders' Cup will be right here in Lexington in just a few weeks. And I know that Mayor Gray and I and all of you are very proud that the very best thoroughbred racing in the world is going to happen right here at our beloved Keeneland Racecourse. Obviously, these are some pretty big events, and putting them on requires a lot of energy and a lot of collaboration. I want to thank the many people who make Kentucky's tourism industry such a success, including those at the State Cabinet for Tourism, Arts, and Heritage. And Secretary Bob Stewart is here with us today, and I think he deserves a round of applause for all the hard work. Bob, thank you. During my administration, the Tourism Development Finance Authority has approved 16 projects representing an investment of some $307 million for a total economic impact of almost $1.8 billion. Reflecting on our renewed marketing efforts in Western Europe and especially in the United Kingdom, international overseas visitation has increased from 64,000 visitors in 2013 to 103,000 in 2014. Folks, that's a 61% increase. Furthermore, we have improved our film incentives to attract filmmakers to our state, and our bourbon industry continues to attract record numbers of tourism and tourists from around the world. Last year, some 750,000 people were on our bourbon trail. Finally, let me talk about one of the First Lady's favorite tourist initiatives, and that's trails. 5 years ago, Jane and I came here to Lexington to help cut a ribbon on the Legacy Trail. And it has proved to be a popular spot for hikers, for bikers, and for runners. So it's in a very appropriate place to make today's announcement regarding the Cross Kentucky Master Trail Plan. And so with that, I am going to introduce the First Lady of the Commonwealth, Jane Beshear.
I would like to thank my husband as well as the mayor for the introduction. I think we have one other of our state representative that has joined us. James Kay, you want to come up here in front? So, you know, for all of the tourism activities that the governor was just talking about, none of them would be possible without our legislature and without the urban county government right here in Lexington. So we appreciate everybody being here and being a part. You know, when Steve was sworn in 8 years ago, I had great hope for Kentucky tourism. Many of you know I'm an outdoor person. I love anything that has to do with nature, and I love my state. At the time that he was elected, we were just 2 years away from the World Equestrian Games. First time that an event like this had ever taken place in North America. So we had an opportunity for us to showcase Kentucky and all that is wonderful about it to over 500,000 visitors that actually came for that event. One of the things that I talked about early on that I would love to see in this state, having visited so many other states in our country, was to have a trail system. I wanted us to be like some of the other states, I won't mention them, but that had a cross Kentucky trail. I wanted to see some place where whether you wanted to hike or ride your bike or, like me, ride your horse, that you could go from one end of the state to the other. Others were doing it. Why couldn't Kentucky? After all, we have the ultimate outdoor adventure geography. We have mountains, we have lakes, we have rolling hills, we have rivers, we have streams, we have fields, and we have forests. We have everything that it takes. The only problem that we had was nobody really knew about it. So even though my plan to have this Cross Kentucky Trail was a bit ambitious, to say the least, I wanted that trail to be available by the World Games. We didn't accomplish that, but what we did do was set a goal. And that was that we would have a master trail plan that would encompass all of Kentucky. And that's what I brought with me today. It's called the Cross Kentucky Master Trail Plan. Early in 2008, the Tourism, Arts, and Heritage Cabinet began to inventory and map the existing trails that we have in Kentucky to identify possible connections and to work with state and local government to see how we could expand, enhance, and improve Kentucky's trail system. They found creative and collaborative ways to highlight Kentucky's outdoor adventures to guests through our Trail Town program. They set us on a path to record-breaking tourism industry economic impact for the state, as you just heard a few minutes ago. Today, we have 12,000 miles of mapped trails in the state. The Cross Kentucky Master Trail Plan is going to allow us to further expand those trails and, in turn, expand the economic growth. This is a comprehensive plan to help all of Kentucky. We even have motorized ones too. This is to help all of our communities to develop and maintain different kinds of trails from north to south and east to west. They'll also help us and me to realize that personal goal, and that was to have a system of trails for our guests to hike, bike, and I appreciate some of our bikers being with us today, or ride their horses from one end of the state to the other to enjoy the beauty and the variety of Kentucky's terrain, and most importantly, the hospitality of our people. So where we stand today is a part of that plan. And I'd like to thank David Kosert, because he and I talked 7 years ago about the plan for this particular park. David, I'm sorry it took us 7 years. But we are here today. The Legacy Trail and the Isaac Murphy Memorial Art Garden connects users with both outdoor activity, but also with the culture of this community. That's an important part of our visitor experience. The plan also supports the innovative Kentucky Trail Town program, which is designed to help communities to connect trail systems and to serve as a tourism destination for our outdoor enthusiasts. The official Trail Town, and Mayor, I think it's about time that Lexington gets busy on their Trail Town designation, if you're not already in the process. But this helps to improve the tourism economy. It helps to add local jobs and create more tourism opportunities for the entire state, again connecting one to the other. Just this week, we've added 2 new trail towns to our already 7 trail towns in the state. Today, our Cabinet Secretary, Bob Stewart, recognized Jamestown and Manchester as our 2 new additions. Later this week, the governor and I will be going to Royalton to officially make them a trail town as a part of the Dawkins Line Rail Trail. Additionally, there are 30 more communities that are working toward this designation, again, helping us to connect our visitors to all that Kentucky offers. This trail plan will serve as a blueprint for these communities and the others that want to be a part of it to help us expand our tourism opportunities. I'm proud that our cities and our towns have embraced their God-given resources. The natural beauty, such as you see right here around us today, the people of Kentucky, our culture in each of our areas, our art, and our food. And that all of these communities and these individuals are willing to share these gifts with our guests that visit our state. It's been hard work and will continue to be hard work. So I join the governor in saying thank you to all of our Trail Town communities and to all of our state for all of those trail advocates and enthusiasts, for those people that are on committees to better their own community for tourism, and for every business owner and citizen that greets our out-of-town guests with a warm smile and a Kentucky welcome. Thank you all for joining us today.